Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska, our All Red 99.5 marquee high school football match of the week. Wilber-Clatonia versus Fillmore Central, 14-0 Panthers lead it over the Wolverines. That's Fillmore Central leading it over Wilber-Clatonia. 1st and 10 inside Fillmore Central territory for the Wolverines. They flip it to Cooper Palmer, rushing upfield on the far side. He's able to pick up about 2 yards on the fullback toss play. 2nd and 8. We want to mention, folks, that unfortunately we will not have a high school football matchup next Friday. We will be in Jamestown, North Dakota, 9 hours to the north, nearing the Canada border for the Doane football game against Jamestown University. That is going to be a fun drive of 9 hours. Should be a blast. But unfortunately, that negates our high school football match of the week for 1 week. Here's Skleba on 2nd and 8. He gets pressured and dumps it off in the flat to Cooper Palmer, who's able to get across the 40 down to the 39, mark at a pickup of 3. And this is going to be about 3rd and 5 coming up here for Wilber-Clatonia. It was not a bad play at all for Skleba, just dumping it off over the middle of Palmer, who lines up in the tailback position quite often, but sometimes can line up as a wide receiver. So now it's going to be 3rd and 5. I want to mention that during the break, the Wilber-Clatonia cheerleaders, who haven't turned around to celebrate all game, turned around, did their chant, got the fans hyped, and now they need a big 3rd and 5 conversion. Skleba, play action, keeps it himself, runs and gets a couple blocks on the far side, tries to power forward as he's down at the 35. It's a pickup of 4 and make it 4th and 1 coming up here for Wilber-Clatonia. Would not be surprised with their field position at the 35 that they would go for this. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. I mean, they need something drastic here. They need a big 4th down conversion to keep this drive alive. And they're not quite in field goal range yet either, so this is it. This is 4th and 1. They need to go for it. And they get down to the 34, at the 35. Skleba lined up under center. He runs it himself. Skleba using those legs. And that's enough. A gain of 2, enough for the 1st down. So Skleba goes with a QB sneak, something that we saw very much last night in the Thursday night football game with Jalen Hurts. And Skleba doing a little Jalen impression and getting the 1st down himself. 1st and 10 inside the 35 at the 33. 1st and 10. For Wilber-Clatonia, finally putting a drive together. We're under 9.5 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. But what a response for Wilber-Clatonia. They trail 14-0, but they have responded very well. 4 receivers on the near side for Skleba. 1st and 10, pressured, gets away from it, runs on the far sideline. He's inside the 30, inside the 25, and he just picked up 11 yards with his legs. Skleba, right now, using the legs he was born with to his advantage. And he just picked up on the last 3 plays a solid, in total, about 20 yards. Really solid rushing here from Skleba. He's doing a phenomenal job. And this is what they like right now. This is what Wilber-Clatonia wants to play like. They want to play with the rushing game. 2 tailbacks lined up under center as Skleba fakes the toss, keeps it himself, gets some blocks as he runs upfield. And he gets inside the 20. Mark him down at the 19. That's a gain of about 4 yards. Make it 2nd and 6. So Skleba, he's got 2 tailbacks behind him. That's Radcliffe and Palmer. But so far, we've seen Lynn Juergens, Coach Juergens, just allowing him to kind of keep it himself right now. And he's done 4 straight QB runs. Will he make it 5 straight? The Wilber-Clatonia crowd getting a little antsy. They want a touchdown here. Skleba is going to run it after he fakes the pass, cuts upfield, and he gets down to about the 13-yard line. Is that enough for a 1st down? I think he's a yard short. So it's 3rd and 1 coming up here for the Wolverines. In their white shirts with green pants and their Michigan Wolverine-like helmets. But instead of it being blue and yellow, it's green and white. White claw-like stripes on their helmets. We get a whistle from the near side referee with 7:42 to play in the first half, and it's a timeout called by Gabe Eberhardt and Fillmore Central. We'll take a timeout too. 14-0 Fillmore Central, but the Wolverines of Wilber-Clatonia knocking on the doorstep. We'll be back after this, midway through this second quarter. 14-0 Fillmore Central on Ole Red 99.5. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. It has become a beautiful night. I mean it when I say it. Nebraska has the best sunsets in the entire United States. It's a beautiful look out to out in the distance. We got purple sky and we got some pink in the clouds. I mean, I think Nebraska wins with most beautiful sunsets in the country. So it's 3rd and 1 after the Fillmore Central timeout for Wilber-Clatonia's offense. Can they cash in? Skleba under center, 2 tailbacks. Skleba hands it off to Cooper Palmer. He gets forward, and he's right at the line to gain. And the far side official says, move those chains. 1st and 10 for Wilber-Clatonia. You know what? I thought they said move the chains. It looks like he has enough. Are they going to mark him short? No, so they're going to mark him to gain of 1 for a first down. Took them a little bit to move the chains there. So now, 1st and 10 at the 11 for the Wolverines. You need to get it down to about the 1 yard line inside the 1 to pick up another first down. But this seems like it's almost 1st and goal to go almost here for Wilber-Clatonia at the 11. That was the first play in a few plays, 7 to be exact, that Skleba did not run the football himself. They handed it off to Cooper Palmer, the tailback. 1st and 10, man in motion. They fake the handoff. Skleba, it's a QB keep, and he gets met behind the line of scrimmage. Tackled there on the play by Carson Ash. He was brought down for a tackle for loss, make it 2nd and 11. And Ash comes into this game with 3 tackles for loss. Will make it his 4th right there. 2nd and 11. Actually, mark it 2nd and 12 from the 13, so they get lost 2 on that play. And now Skleba lining up 5 wide. So Skleba, they might want to throw this one here. 4 receivers on the near side, one-on-one on the far side. Skleba going to the far side. The catch is made at about the 5, and he's wrapped up and brought down. Pickup of about 8 yards makes it 2nd and 2. The catch made by Colin Cahout, the freshman. Solid pickup. It's actually mark it 3rd and 2, folks. Wilber-Clatonia inside the 5 for the first time tonight. They've put together an amazing drive. 6:27 to play in the second quarter. They have almost, actually with this drive, they haven't even lost possession of the football yet in the second quarter. They've used about half of the second quarter with this drive. We get a whistle, and Wilber-Clatonia was confused and needed a timeout. We'll stay here for it. We want to let everybody know that this game is brought to you by Southeast Valley Irrigation, or Valley Dealer in Bruning, Heath Sports Shop in downtown Crete, Match Express Food Shop and Oilers Sinclair, gas and diesel stations in Fairbury, Plymouth Irrigation and Plymouth Electric, Star Buco Insurance in Fairbury, and Wells Implement in Plymouth. We also want to mention that tomorrow at 1 p.m., we're going to have a doozy of a game in NAIA football here on Ole Red 99.5. Doane will travel to Orange City, Iowa to take on the number 1 team in the country, Northwestern Red Raiders, the defending NAIA national champions, on the road. Northwestern on a 15-game winning streak coming into this game. And
3rd and 3.
They are looking, Doane is looking at least to pull off one of the biggest upsets in their team history. Don't miss that tomorrow at 1 p.m. 3rd and 1. Here is Skleba to carry it himself. He rolls into the end zone. Is he in, or is he marked short? He's marked at the half-yard line. Pickup of 3.5 yards. He needed 4 to get into the end zone. But you know what, folks? You know what I said earlier about they get a first down inside the 1? Well, they got a first down inside the 1. 1st and goal at the half-yard line for Wilber-Clatonia. So we see Kiffin Theoblad check off the field, and checking in for him is Hunter Lukes. On defense for Fillmore Central, Skleba lined up under center. He's got Radcliffe behind him. Radcliffe to push Skleba forward. Skleba bounces off tackles and gets into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown run. Carter Skleba gets in. Wilber-Clatonia scores their first points of the game with 6 minutes to play in the first half. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and we've got ourselves a ball game. And who would have thought, folks, that Wilber-Clatonia, after going down 14-0, disastrous start, they bounced back beautifully and can make it a one-score game with the extra point. The extra point is good, and it is converted by Kenneth Guerrera. So we'll take a break after the 1-yard touchdown run from QB1, Carter Skleba. 14-7, Fillmore Central leading it over Wilber-Clatonia. We'll be back right after this on Ole Red 99.5. Welcome back to Ole Red 99.5. Welcome into the broadcast. My name is Kyle Mathas. Thank you for joining me tonight from Geneva, Nebraska. It was a long 8-minute touchdown drive by Wilber-Clatonia to put their first points on the board, courtesy of a 1-yard touchdown run from their QB, Carter Skleba. Now it's their defense to come out and get us started. This is a short kickoff taken at the 18-yard line by Fillmore Central. And then he's going to get some blocks and go across the 40. He's across the 40. He's across the 50. It's a foot race. And he's across the 40 and gets down to the Wilber-Clatonia 30-yard line. Big pickup right there by Dylan Gawecki. And that is a huge kickoff return. Fillmore Central already into Wilber-Clatonia territory. Actually, mark him out at the 35. I guess he stepped out there. He was brought down by Kenneth Guerra. So the senior kicker ends up getting the tackle. But look at Fillmore Central. They are set up very nicely here. 1st and 10 at the Wilber-Clatonia 34-yard line officially. Stasinas, the QB, looking to line up under center. He made contact with his own offensive line and takes off himself. It's miscommunication, and somehow he powers forward and picks up about 3 yards. So make it 2nd and 7. It was major miscommunication by Fillmore Central on offense. He never was able to hand it off, and he made contact with his own O-line off the snap, but still powered forward and picked up 3 yards, and that was impressive that he was still able to get anything on that play. That looks like just not the best communication between the offense. 5:15 to play in the second quarter. Lined up under center is Stasinas. He's going to flip it, and a fumble. He dropped the football. It was Luke Kimbrough who dropped it, and he recovers it back at the 35. So it's a loss of 4. Make it 3rd and 11. So exactly what Stasinas got on that run, they lose because of a dropped ball. And I was talking about earlier, the ball is slippery tonight due to the rain. There's no sun out right now to dry the field. And now it is 3rd and 11. And Fillmore Central, quite frankly, after that play, not really in field goal position, or not really in field goal range either anymore. At the 35, they need to get it down to the 24. 3rd and 11. Stasinas lined up under center, flips it out to Kimbrough again. Kimbrough on the near side, he's got blockers, he finds a hole inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown! It is Luke Kimbrough with a 35-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 11. The Wilber-Clatonia sideline was chanting defense, and now they almost look in shock, as do the entire Wilber-Clatonia fan section. On 3rd and long, Kimbrough makes it count, and this could be a 21-7 score line after the 35-yard rushing touchdown. What a conversion there. Now it's Gawecki on for the extra point. It is good. 35-yard touchdown run, courtesy of the senior Luke Kimbrough. Makes the score 21-7. Fillmore Central with 4:17 to play in the second quarter. We'll be back right after this on Ole Red 99.5. Welcome back to Fillmore Central versus Wilber-Clatonia. We come back after the touchdown run of 35 yards by the Panthers. 21-7, Fillmore Central leads it. The number 7 team in the state of Nebraska in C2, because of the new News Channel Nebraska rankings that came out this week, pits them at number 7. This game is brought to you by Husker Rehab in Fairbury, Beatrice, Lincoln, and Nebraska City. Sherbarth Ace Hardware in Fairbury. Star Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Fairbury. Chapel Roofing of Fairbury. And Riverside Chevrolet in Fairbury. So, Wilber-Clatonia, they don't have 8 minutes to power forward another long drive. They have 4 minutes, but they need a big drive to get themselves back to within a score. This one's taken inside the 15. It's a fake by Kessler. He's up the far sideline and is across the 25 and out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So a solid 14-yard return by Cash Kessler, the junior. He's actually done very well so far tonight on returning these kicks. So 1st and 10, Wilber-Clatonia, and they got a long field ahead of them. Now, last drive, they had those short QB runs, those rushing plays, took 8 minutes off the clock. Now, with 4:08 to play in the half, they don't have that much time. They also did use a timeout earlier on their last drive, so they also don't have 3 timeouts. They have 2. First play, Skleba to run it himself. He powers forward, and he got hit hard on a gain of 3 yards. Hit really hard on that play by Sassinis, as well as Kimbrough, who was in there, and so was Michael Anderson, the junior. A really hard hit there, but if anybody can take it, it's Skleba. He's done a really good job at running the football, and if you're a QB that runs the football, you honestly expect to be hit hard a few times during the game. So 2nd and 7, and Skleba looks unfazed by that hit. 2nd and 7. Skleba, he'll run it again. Skleba cutting up field, getting down at the 35-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 4 after a gain of 3 yards. So Skleba got hit hard on that last play, and then coach says, "You know what? Can you take another couple tackles?" He's like, "Yeah, let me do it, coach." So unfortunately, we have a Fillmore Central Panther down on the field right now. So we'll take a break. 3rd and 4 coming up after this for Wilber-Clatonia on Ole Red 99.5. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. So the injured Panther, which is number 81, Carson Ash, the senior, was down on the field. It looks like he may have rolled his ankle, his right ankle. He's limping off the field, but he's limping under his own power to start. Now he's got a hand on the shoulder of one of the athletic trainers. And he's walking over with coach. He looks like, he just looks like he rolled his ankle there. So now it's 3rd and 4. Skleba to pass on play action, and that pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage and incomplete by Kiffin Theoblad. So Theoblad deflects the pass. It's 4th and 4, and here comes the Wilber-Clatonia punting unit. That was almost a great opportunity for a completion for Cash Kessler, who was on the near side expecting the pass on an out route. And good job with the line of scrimmage by Theoblad, the D lineman, to deflect that pass. So Skleba to punt from inside his own 25 and on to return. Looks like it's Jaron Tweedy back at his 30. High snap. Skleba gets a hold of it. It's a line drive kick bouncing at the 50 and taking a Wolverines bounce down to the 36. Solid punt by Skleba. Here comes Fillmore Central offense. Remember, Wilber-Clatonia almost got them off the field. It was 3rd and 11, but it was a 35-yard touchdown run from Kimbrough, the senior, they were able to score on. This game is brought to you by Jefferson Community Health and Life in Fairbury, Members Owned Credit Union in Beatrice and Lincoln, Norris Public Power District, Beatrice Community Hospital and Health Center, and AgWest Commodities, your marketing partner. Go online at goagwest.com. Thank you to all of our sponsors that sponsor these games every week and help us bring high school football to all of you listening here on Ole Red 99.5. So Stassinis lined up under center with 2 tailbacks. Handoff up the middle and breaking across the 40 and getting out to midfield as he's tackled at the Wilber-Clatonia 48-yard line. It's Roach on the carry. And he's got a solid gain of about nearly 20 yards. This running game for Fillmore Central over the last few drives has just been really good. They have looked elite on the ground, and then here's the thing, when you do so well on the ground and the defense kind of expects a running play, you go play action, you take a deep shot, and who knows, they might do that in a couple plays here. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Again, two tailbacks lined up behind Stasinis, who's lined up under center. They hand it off to Roach, cutting upfield across the 40, and breaks tackles as he gets down inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line, gain of 12 and a first down. So Roach, back-to-back plays, and in total he's gained 35 yards on those two plays combined. And already Fillmore Central inside of Wilber-Clatonia territory at the 32, looking to strike. They go up under center again, two tailbacks for Stasinis. Here is Roach. Roach cutting to the far side, trying to break some tackles. He's going to get met for a loss. Actually, mark it no gain on the play. Whistle on the near side, timeout Fillmore Central. They have one remaining after this, and they'll use one here to stop the clock with 1:52 to play in the first half. 21-7, Fillmore Central leading it over Wilber-Clatonia. The Panthers looking to score again on All Red 99.5. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. This game between Wilber-Clatonia and Fillmore Central is brought to you by Lamo Plumbing and Beatrice. Building Tech, your Seco Building Systems builder in Beatrice, Creative Surfaces, your countertop specialist of Beatrice, and Clausen and Sons Dirtwork of Beatrice. So, 2nd and 11 following the loss on the play from the run by Stasinis. 1:52 to play in the first half. They're lined up under center with two tailbacks again. And they fake the handoff. Stasinis throws it in the flat. It's picked off. It's intercepted by Wilber-Clatonia. They're looking to try to return this inside the 40. They mark him down at the 37. It's picked off by Grant Kuhlman. The sophomore made the pick. It was a screen pass. Play action, throwing it out to the flat, and Kuhlman read it the entire way and got the pick. So Wilber-Clatonia now at the 37 in Fillmore Central territory. Their defense may have just made one of the biggest plays in the game, and now four receivers lined up on the far side, one on the near side. The one on the near side is Jack Zimmerman for the Wolverines. 5 wide for here is Skleba rolling outside and throwing it to the far side and incomplete. Nobody was around, but they don't say it's intentional grounding. It's just incomplete. 2nd and 10. Skleba is getting pressured off the edge there and could not get the play to develop fast enough. So we see checking into the game for Wilber-Clatonia is Ty Kuhlman, and checking out, I believe, was Ty Rosler. So 2nd and 10 for the Wolverines. Two tailbacks lined up behind Skleba, who's under center. Skleba to flip it outside. And here is Cooper Palmer cutting out field and getting maybe a yard on the play. 3rd and 9 coming up here. And the clock runs under 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. This game is brought to you by Premier Chevrolet Buick GMC of Beatrice. Discover the premier difference. And by Fortified Group Insurance and Real Estate with offices in Geneva, Shickley, and Davenport, and Geneva Home Center. 3rd and long here for Wilber-Clatonia. And here is Skleba looking to the near side, throwing it. It's caught by Palmer. Palmer dives forward at about the 31. Pickup of about 7 yards. Actually, make it 6. Make it 4th and 4. We have an injury timeout. And actually, the injured Wilber-Clatonia Wolverine is going to walk up. Stone Thielen is the one holding his right wrist. So I don't think we're going to get an injury timeout, as Thielen did walk up under his own power. So he is getting attention from the medical staff, but he is walking. He is holding that right wrist. So as he gets attention from the staff, we will wait here with 51 seconds to play. And actually the injury timeout stopped the clock as well. I think Wilber-Clatonia was trying to run that down. But I don't know, folks. This is an interesting call here. With 51 seconds to play in the half, do they go for it on 4th and 4? It's actually officially a 4th and long 4, make it 4th and 5. But there isn't much time to go, and they are going to go for this one. So They're going to risk it. They still would give Fillmore Central about 45 seconds with one timeout. Let's see what they go for here. Here's Skleba rolling to his right, throwing it deep, and he's got a man open, and he's down at the 20-yard line, and the catch is made by Coleman. The senior makes the catch. First down, Wilber-Clatonia. The clock stops at 45 seconds. You can see Skleba now trying to pull his offense together. The senior trying to be a leader. 30 seconds. Skleba looking, surveying, throws it to the end zone. It's up for grabs. It's incomplete. Intended for Aiden Zychek and knocked away by Luke Kimbrough. Nice play defensively. It was one-on-one coverage in the end zone, and Kimbrough won that battle. Don't see that very often. You usually see the receivers win that one. But what a play by Kimbrough in the end zone to break that up. 2nd and 10 with 27 seconds left. Well, Wilber-Clatonia's got to be careful here not to turn this ball over. They want to get points. A field goal wouldn't be the worst, but they obviously want to go for a touchdown. Skleba rolling to his right, eludes a tackle, throws it to the end zone. He's got a man there. It's incomplete. What a play again by Kimbrough, who broke up the pass. It was intended for Coleman, the sophomore, Grant Coleman.
Sorry, not Zychek that time. That was Grant Coleman.
Wow, that was a great defensive play. Kimbrough, the safety, really making some phenomenal plays in the secondary at the goal line. 3rd and 10 at the 21. 20 seconds to play in the half. Here is Skleba getting pressured and dumping it off, and it's complete to Cash Kessler, who tries to break some tackles. He maybe gets a yard on the screen pass over the middle, and it'll be 4th and 9. We're going to let the clock run under 5 seconds and call a timeout at 2 seconds. So timeout, 2 seconds to go. Wilber-Clatonia is going to go for a field goal here. So it was Coleman who wasn't able to get really anything on that play. Fillmore Central has done a phenomenal job. So we'll take a quick break. Wilber-Clatonia setting up for the field goal to end the half. We'll be back after this on All Red 99.5. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. This is going to be a long field goal here coming up for Wilber-Clatonia to end the half. The holder is Avon Smith. The kicker is Kenneth Guerrera. There's a flag on the play from the near side official, and a big flag comes and flies from the end zone. That ref threw that flag deep. I don't want to take attention off of what happened, but he threw that from the field goal all the way to the 5-yard line. That's a deep throw. So we get a penalty here on, I believe this is actually going to be on Fillmore Central. This 12 men on the field, and they're going to move the field goal up. So this would have been a 37-yard field goal for Guerrera. Now this will move it up to, I believe this might actually end up being about a 30-yarder. Oh my goodness. So the illegal substitution moves the ball down to the 10. And now this is going to be a short chip shot here for Guerrera. So it's going to be about a 26-yarder. And the referee blows the whistle again. Don't know what this whistle's about. So he had to signal the first down, I guess. I guess you officially have to do that as an official. There's only 1 second left, though, so I wouldn't assume that they would not take the field goal. So here is now a 27-yard chip shot by Kenneth Guerrera to make it an 11-point gain. The kick is up, and it's just good from 27. So the kick is good, and it makes it 21-10. Fillmore Central leading it over Wilber-Clatonia. We have had a great first half. And oh boy, folks, do we have a good second half in store for you as well. Stay tuned. After this, we'll have the halftime show between Wilber-Clatonia and Fillmore Central as we get ready for an electric and an entertaining second half. Coming up next on All Red 99.5.